I'm going to teach you how to make a paper mache mask. You might be thinking Halloween's over, and that's true, but masks aren't just for Halloween. All over the world, cultures have made masks. I have decorative masks all over my house. You might like to make one of these as a Christmas gift or a birthday present for someone. Let's get started with our paper mache mask.
I've been trying to change them all with my mind.
Hi everybody! We're going to learn how to paper mache today. The first step would be to lay something down on the table, like a tablecloth or even some newsprint. You need water, you need flour, you need a mixing bowl, and you need a spoon. You need some newspaper, and I like to have an extra bowl so that after we blow up our balloon, you need a balloon, the balloon can sit in the bowl, and you'll see why. First, you're going to blow up your balloon. If you don't know how to blow up a balloon yet, you can ask your parents for help, but it's fun to try. Careful you don't let it go. So we're going to be making masks, but these aren't going to be the kind of masks that you wear on your face. The mask that we're going to make is a mask for hanging on the wall. Oh no, my balloon has a hole in it. The next step is that we're going to make the paste for the paper mache. It's so simple, you only need 2 ingredients. Flour and water. I've got a cup of flour here. I'm going to pour the whole cup in. And I've got about 2 cups of water. We may or may not need it all. We're going to pour a little bit at a time and use our spoon to stir. You really can't go wrong with this. You just keep stirring and stirring until you have a paste that isn't too runny, but isn't too thick. This is too thick. We need more water. The consistency I'm looking for is kind of like a cream of mushroom soup, but no lumps. If you use the back of the spoon to press the floury lumps against the side of the bowl, you'll get rid of those lumps.
In black and blue, I've even disappeared. What color are you? What color are you?
It's okay if there's a few lumps. You really can't go wrong. Okay, I hope you can tell what this is like. That's a pretty good consistency. The next step is to make strips using your newspaper. Newspaper is sort of funny. It tears one way very easily and not very easily the other way. The easy way is lengthwise. Watch. Once you've got some strips, now that they're long, I'm going to rip them in half. Now we've got a whole bunch of strips to work with. This is where it gets a little bit messy. We're going to get our hands all covered in paste, but it's okay. It's fun. So we've blown up our balloon and we've created the paste. Now it's time to dip the strips. I just start with a couple. You have the others nearby, but you dip the strip in the paste, and when you pull it up, you take the excess paste off using your fingers on either side of the strip. Then you dip it again. Do this to each strip about 3 times. This makes sure that the newsprint is saturated with the paste. Once the paper is ready, you put it on your balloon.
nobody rules you.
Smooth it down. Now, time for another strip. Do you remember how many times I said to dip it? Dip each strip 3 times to make sure that it gets nice and sticky.
Try if you wanna try. Quit if you wanna.
Keep adding strips until the whole top of the balloon is covered.
Now think how you wanna think. Pray if you wanna pray. And doubt if you wanna doubt. Fly if you wanna fly. Or go hide if you wanna hide. Shout if you wanna shout.
So we're almost there. We've almost got the top part of the balloon covered with 1 layer. But 1 layer is not enough. We're going to need to put on 3 layers. So how many times do you dip the strip? 3 times. And how many layers do we need? 3 again. It turns out 3 is a magic number. When you're putting your second layer on, I recommend going in a different direction with the strip. Notice that I'm putting this strip on horizontally instead of vertically. I was going from top down. Now I'm going side to side for my second strip.
That something sets you free.
For the third strips, I'll go up and down again, but I won't overlap at the top as much as I did at the beginning.
Be who you wanna be.
So we've put on 3 layers of strips now. 1 that went from the top to the bottom, 1 that went around the sides, and now the final piece is going on.
And this world is bright and blue. It's waiting.
Oh no! I forgot the ears! It's okay that I forgot the ears. When this paper mache is dry, I can tape my ears on, but then I have to paper mache again. To save you that trouble, if you want to use ears, tape them on the balloon right from the beginning. You would want to use some masking tape and tape them along the tab. Then, when you paper mached, you would paper mache all around the ear. So, I have to let my paper mache dry now. It's gonna take a day or 2. When you make your paper mache, you're gonna have to wait for it to dry too. Just put it up high somewhere so that your cat doesn't get into it. Hi everybody, welcome back. I know you didn't actually go anywhere, but it's been 3 days since my paper mache project began. I needed to let everything dry really well and it took 3 whole days. So don't be surprised if your paper mache takes a while to dry. And you want to make sure that it's dry, otherwise you can run into some problems with mold. So I decided to go back and tape on a little front nose section and ears because I'm making a cat, as you all know. So as you can see, I've taped on just using regular old masking tape. You wouldn't want to use a very shiny tape because I still have to paper mache this again. I taped the ears on and notice that I want my mask to hang on a wall like this. So the very top is actually the front of the face, which is why I put the little nose sticking out from the front. Now I've got to go back to the drawing board. Well, not exactly the drawing board, but back to the sticky paste. And I've got to re-paper mache all of this. And I'm going to do it in the exact same way and I'm gonna let it dry. So it might be another 3 days before you see me again. So here we are with the finished product. It took about another 3 days for my ears and my nose, my snout, the front of the cat's face to fully dry. Now I'm ready to start to paint. Now I want my painting to be really nice and bright. So I'm going to paint my mask white first. And you want an acrylic paint. You don't want to use tempera. If you use a brush that's not stiff, it'll be very difficult to push the paint around. So I don't recommend using that one. A big brush will spread the paint around quickly. Maybe you have a house painting brush. But even just this size of a brush will do nicely as long as the bristles are slightly firm. You could even use a sponge to spread the paint around. I dumped a bunch of paint on the top and now I'm using the sponge to spread it around. I'll wait until this white paint is perfectly dry before I paint some color on. Acrylic paint dries fairly quickly, so if you put the white coat on in the morning, by the afternoon you should be able to put the color on. Eventually we will pop the balloon, and if your balloon pops by accident, that's okay. But I like to leave the balloon until the very end so that it's easier to paint. Hi, so we're back now and the paper mache mask has been painted white, and I've drawn a preliminary sketch using a pencil of the eyes and the nose and the mouth of my cat. The next step is going to be to paint this. When it's fully dry, I'm going to pop the balloon and show you that there's the option for trimming the edges and how to glue a string on the back so that you can hang it on the wall. Here we are with the finished product. As you can see, I chose to use a variety of colors to make my cat mask interesting. I'm super proud of how it turned out. Now it's time to pop the balloon. I don't want it to fall, so I'm going to turn it upside down. And I don't want to scare my real cat, so I'm not going to pop it loudly. I'm just going to make a little tear in the balloon near the top. Now I can trim the edges with my scissors. You might want to get your parents' help for this. Some of my edges are a little thin, but over on the sides where it's thick, that's where I'm going to attach my string. You can puncture with a little hole and tie a string, and that's what I would recommend that you do. At the end, it'll hang on the wall like that. See you next time!